start line. We'll don't know whether we're going to have time to get through the whole of the field. We'll just pick out a few of the more significant people, including Niels Laros, who set a championship record in the 1500 metres heats yesterday. 3:43 yesterday. There's Marcus Crespo on the inside of the second line, and they're crammed right the way into. There's 16 men crammed into that line. Naranjo and Colbert. Just keep an eye out. We're looking for Niels Laros in the familiar orange vest of the Netherlands. Yes, there he is. Towards the left of your screen, 4 in at the rear lineup. So let's just run through the lineup of all 23 men while they sort themselves out. Colbert of Ireland, Gonzalez Moyano, France, Naranjo, Spain, Nocton, Great Britain, Fenland, Ireland, Fjeld Halvorsen, who is very, very good performer indeed, and was, there's a lot of pushing and shoving there. Jack Fenland of Ireland in the midst of that. But he's not the only one who's been waving his arms around. This is a very, very big field indeed, but just to carry on the lineup, Fjeld Halvorsen of Norway, Barbosa of Portugal, Bird, Great Britain, Tungton, Turkey, Brossat, Switzerland, Goller of Turkey, Olegard Steinbrud of Norway, and then the Laros tucked in the midst of that pack at the moment, one of the taller runners, in fact, rather towards the back of the pack. Roppoletto of Italy, his compatriot Mata, Pop of Romania, Crespo of Spain, Fritz of Hungary, Calvold Germany, Zuderland of Netherlands, Flon of France, Matus of Germany, and Arvai of Hungary. Well, it's Britain 1 and 2 at the moment, with James Nocton at the front, followed by his teammate Edward Bird.
Yes, so Nocton 22nd improvement this year to 8:14. Only had 4 track races this year, incidentally. More of a cross-country background. Bird, 7.5 seconds improvement this year in Manchester. Interestingly, Laros and Fjeld Halvorsen, who come in ranked first and second, though, they're both also in the 1500 metres. Laros has run 3:53.68 in this competition. Hey, they'll be very glad for the cooler conditions this evening as well. You can see Laros just in the middle of the pack in his orange vest, whereas Fjeld Halvorsen in 3rd place, slotted in nicely there.
But this presents a dilemma inevitably for the likes of Laros and Fjeld Halvorsen. Hugely talented athletes without a doubt, but they still have the 1500 metres final to come tomorrow evening. Well, we were talking about Laros and Fjeld Halvorsen ranked 1 and 2 on this year's European Under-18 less. Jamie Nocton, number 3. Edward Bird just behind him, number 6. So men to give full respect to as well. There's the Turk just coming around the outside. Goller. Already, this is a pretty useful pace at this stage. There's about 4 or 5 men already drifting off the back of this pack, and certainly Nocton has strung them out with a very, very useful first few laps.
Yeah, so 2:43 for the opening kilometre, so around 8:10 pace, or a little quicker than that.
And this year, the only person who's run faster than 8:10 is indeed Laros, who's now moved himself up into 3rd place. That tall, languid running style of the Dutchman. Ran 8:04.17 recently and has a huge range. Won the Dutch 800 metres under 18 title not so long ago. 153 man over 800 metres as well. And it can also break 14 minutes for the 5,000 metres. No 5,000 metres here though. This is the longest event on the track. as they go through with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, so still those Brits first and second, but so often we see those who eventually come through just content to sit on the shoulder and wait and buy their time. And what a moment to learn your trade, really. Look at the Irish contingent. We've been talking about the fact that they were waiting for their luggage and having problems with that, and so just something to deal with competition. Unfortunately, the way things are at the moment, a few issues as well with the Polish team had some problems, but hey, Ireland had a fantastically successful European Under-20 Championships in Tallinn last year. The winners, McPhillips and Griggs, in the 1500 and 3000. I just wonder whether that's inspired perhaps Jack Fenlon, who is similar in the rankings to what Griggs was and is in the middle of the pack there.
Well, this pace being delivered by James Nocton has really strung out the field. There's a leading pack there of about 12, 13 men, but the rest of the 23-man field strung out behind them. Give a shout out to Dragos Pop, 8:24 performer, the Romanian, who's up there at the moment, looking as though he's straining a little bit that last kilometre. 2:17.72. Seems a bit quick at this. Not sure that was completely right.
Yes, it'll be when they come through with 2.5 laps to go shortly, where we get the 2K mark split.
But Pop's still up there at the moment. But it's Nocton and Bird leading the way as they've done from the very early stages of the race. Fjeld, Halvorsen and Laros, the 2 fastest men in this field, tucked in behind the 2 Britons. A couple of Turkish athletes also up there. So Tungtan and Gola.
So they slowed in that kilometre to 54 following 2:43.
It's now the turn of Edward Bird to start taking things out. I actually think these are very good tactics from the Britons. They've avoided any possibility of it coming down to a mass sprint finish with a lot of athletes who might still have quite a bit left in the tank. They know that they're good quality athletes. They've put a lot of work in, strung it out. That looks like the Irish athlete Fenlon, who's stepping to one side. Not quite sure what happened to Fenlon there. And now, well, Bird's injected a bit of pace. Laros and Fjeld Halvorsen following it. So 600 metres to go, and it's Bird, Laros, Fjeld Halvorsen and Goller. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. And there's a little bit of a gap back then to the man in 5th place, which is Tungtan. And then there's a further gap back to 3 more athletes. Pop, who showed through the first 2 kilometres, now tiring as they're coming up to the bell. And it's getting very quick indeed now. Bird still leading the way. Laros up on his shoulder. Fjeld Halvorsen and Goller. Looking now as though the battle for the medals is down to these 4 men. Bird still pressing. Laros on his shoulder. Is Laros just waiting for a moment to strike? Coming up to 250 metres to go, and the pace is really starting to increase. Fjeld Halvorsen just looking a little bit tired, grimacing as Laros hits the front. Laros, Fjeld Halvorsen now going past Bird. Goller on the shoulder of Bird in that battle for the bronze medal. But silver and gold looks like it's going to come down to Laros. Laros, this very, very talented Dutchman, set a championship record yesterday in the 1500 metres heats. He's well away. He's putting distance between himself and Norway's Fjeld Halvorsen. Niels Laros takes gold for the Netherlands. Just outside the championship record, unofficially, 8:11.49. He waited, but Niels Laros struck with 250 metres to go. It was absolutely perfect tactics. No one could match him. Fjeld Halvorsen of Norway stayed with him for about 50 metres, but then had to toss in the towel. And I think he just was well aware that he was running for a silver medal once he got clear of Bird and Goller.
So a fantastic 55-second last lap there for Laros. And it came down to those two, and the best part is the battle will surely be rejoined for the 1500 metres between him and Andreas Fjeld Halvorsen of Norway.
There he is, accompanied by Champy. I think we're going to see a lot more of Niels Laros, not just tomorrow in the 1500 metres final. I think he could even challenge for medal next year at the European Under-20 Championships, even though he'll be up against men a year or so older than him. Gold medal confirmed. Niels Laros, 8:11.49. Is this just going to be the first of a very memorable double? Laros. Bring it. Pausing for breath. There's Edward Bird. Well, he ran a personal best of 8:14 in third place. I don't think you could ask for any more. Courageous run, taking up the running over the last 2 laps. Didn't quite have it in his legs with 250 metres to go. But Bird gets a very, very well-deserved bronze medal. There's the full list. Golar just missing out, but a personal best for the Turk in 4th place. Springing the legs of Edward Bird as he celebrates with the rest of the British fans.
Yeah, so having another look back at that race, there was all that jostling for position initially between the Spaniard and the Irishman, particularly there, just fighting to try and get some room. So the pace strung out. Nocton was our early leader. He really paid for that, unfortunately for him. So it was Colbert there who dropped out. Fenlon, the other Irish athletes. So Bird tried to hang on to this leading group, but just look at how relaxed Laros and Fjeld Halvorsen look. It's time to celebrate as well, coming down that home straight. Fjeld Halvorsen just looking round. He gets the silver, and Bird pretty close for that bronze medal.